Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hot Seat Automotive Podcast. Your buddy CJ here. We're talking about all things automotive industry, cars, trucks, gearhead stuff. Let's get into it. What are we talking about today? Tesla Cybertruck. The Tesla Cybertruck. Come on. This thing has been an incredible stir in the industry for a couple of years now. Ever since the unveiling, many said it would never be built. Many said it would never come to fruition. It has. It's here. It's upon us. Kind of wild. Also kind of polarizing. Let's look at this thing together. Here we go. Look at that. Come on. Right out of a video game. Right out of the future. It's the truck from the future. The Tesla Cybertruck. The aliens have arrived and they're all driving Tesla Cybertrucks. Come on. Look at that thing. It's ridiculous. Here it is. It's going off-road, people. Available two-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, available with various ranges and performance levels. You're going to peak out at about 96,000, somewhere around 100K. Lower trim models are somewhat less than that. You can put your deposit in now. I don't think the configurator's open yet. Listen, if you don't think the Tesla Cybertruck is picking up styling cues from classic sci-fi and cinema, look at this. Who remembers Aliens? Remember the great film series? How about the Marine transport vehicle, the Space Marines, with Sigourney Weaver driving around in this thing? Come on, that looks like a Cybertruck. Don't lie. Master Chief, Halo. When I see the Cybertruck, I'm thinking Master Chief comes to Earth. He's driving a Cybertruck. Stop it. Come on. In all seriousness, this thing is disruptive. This thing is innovative, and this thing is extremely polarizing. So I get two reactions when I talk to people about the Cybertruck. You ready? One, I got to have one. I know a lot of people, truck guys, girls, dudes who are into automotive and car stuff in general. They got to have a Cybertruck. Then there's a whole population of people who hate it. The other most common reaction I get on the Cybertruck is that it's ugly. It's ugly. That thing looks awful. Well, what's the old saying? I say it all the time. If a new product or service or offering or idea or design isn't resonating with you, it was probably never intended for you. If it ain't talking to you, it's probably not intended for you. Don't get emotional about it. Don't get hurt. If you are a die-hard off-roader, you got a tattoo, small block Chevy on your arm. You're a Jeep person. You always have been a Jeep person, always will be. You got to have your V8 rumble. You're a diesel guy. You got to blow smoke and burn that coal. What do they call it? Rolling coal? You going to roll coal? Let me tell you something. Cybertruck is probably not for you. So let's be real about that. Now, let's also be very real. Federal government is coming for your rolling coal diesel. Federal government is coming for your V8. That's just reality. And of course, I'm exaggerating, but in all seriousness, regulation, appetite in the market, the Fed, the state, even global regulation, municipalities, states, they're not messing around with environmental protection. Look at just the past 10 years, where the world has gone with the focus on EV. So it's not going away. What do I think? I do think that it's going to be very difficult for manufacturers to meet the federal mandates. Let's just talk about the US, right? I do think some of this has got to be rolled back. I'll be blunt and write it down. You heard it here first. Here's my prediction. If these automotive manufacturers, global automotive manufacturers, are forced to meet these regulatory mandates, they'll be out of business. It will drive them out of business. It will eviscerate their balance sheets. It will eviscerate and destroy profitability. So I don't see that happening. There's been indicators There's been indicators in the industry that appetite for EVs is has degraded, has gone down. And there's 100 reasons why. That's an episode for another podcast. But let's just get back to the point here. The point is, I don't think the world is going to stop making your V8 diesel, high horsepower, cranking hogs trucks anytime soon. Don't worry about it. You are still going to be able to buy your F-250, your Silverado, your Dodge Ram with a smoking internal combustion engine. Don't worry about it. Now, having said that, it's going to be kind of hard to eliminate this tide towards EV. It's coming, and it's something we're going to have to adopt and live with to some extent. Now, it doesn't mean you got to run out and buy a Tesla Cybertruck. A couple of things though I want to talk about. This disruptor, this innovator in Tesla, that's what they are. The EV, think about it, in our lifetime, 15, 20 years ago, the EV was a novelty. Even if you saw one, and there have been several over the years, or even when you first saw the Tesla, the first Tesla, the Roadster, that's sort of a goofy toy. That's something, rich guy's toy, or, really an obscure buyer, just really for the obscure buyer who's kind of sort of interested in something like that. Maybe someone who's really environmentally conscious, but certainly not for your general automotive enthusiast or for the broader population of drivers. Boy, were we wrong. We were wrong. Teslas everywhere. Everywhere I look, Teslas. And guess what? They're the elephant in the room. Tesla isn't just a brand with cool stuff that's on the fringe. They are the brand for the EV. They are the face of the EV. And guess what? You talk about disruption. Even going back in the day, listen, back in the day, it was probably 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I don't know. I was speaking at an automotive industry conference on the topic of cybersecurity. Okay, and all the big manufacturers were there, executive level conference. I was told, CJ, avoid talking about Tesla. I'm not kidding you. True story. Why? Because that was a sensitive topic at the time. Like, wow, those guys are so innovative. What they were doing at that time, so out there, so disruptive. It was changing the way the industry thought about everything: manufacturing, consumer engagement, power plants, powertrains, price point, the role of the web, marketing, technology, connected vehicles, self-driving vehicles, every category of how we think about automobiles was challenged, disrupted, and changed by Tesla. Facts. So, listen, Tesla, again, when I think of Tesla, I think innovation and disruption. Cybertruck, are you kidding me? Just look at the thing. Kind of proves my point. Proves my point 100%. You can't look at this thing. Let's look at it again. Come on. Let's look at this thing again. You can't look at this thing without thinking disruption and innovation. And of course my jokes about the Warthog. Come on, you agree. Look at this thing. Ford F-150 Lightning. EV truck. Now, there's been a lot on this. This thing looks like a truck to me, right? This is the pickup truck we all grew up with. Yeah, all right on. Pickup truck guys, heck yeah. That's a pickup truck, right? The issue is, this has been the outline. If you ask a 5-year-old kid to draw a pickup truck, that's what he's going to draw. That's what the kid's going to draw. Cybertruck turns that upside down. Now, there's been some challenges. I'm not going to get into all the detail with the Ford F-150 Lightning, but certainly hasn't panned out for what I think Ford wanted it to be. Maybe it was too fast to market. I don't know. I kind of like this whole headlight and grill thing. I think it's kind of cool. Performance, towing capacity, range, let's leave that for another day. Maybe it hasn't panned out and the demand isn't there. But, there's also the Rivian. Now, the styling on the Rivian, not for me. If I was in the market for one of these, I'd probably go Cybertruck. At this point. I'd probably go for the Cyber Beast. Look at that, even the branding. Who calls a vehicle a beast as a manufacturer? Are you kidding me? How cool is that? Check it out. Go to the website. Go to Tesla's website. You can configure one. Put your deposit down today on a Cyber Beast. It's going to cost you about $100K. When and if you get an allocation and it ends up delivered at your house or you go pick it up, ain't cheap. 300 miles range, all-wheel drive, fast. How about all the promotional videos? This thing's smoking a Porsche 911. This thing's a big truck. Just crazy. So just, a couple things to know. Listen, don't worry. Your Ford F-150, your Silverado, your Dodge Ram are not being taken away from you. Not yet. Maybe not in our lifetime. But, one thing I want to leave you with. Let's not forget the history of disruption and innovation in all seriousness in the automotive industry. Who remembers a time when Toyota was known for little compact cars in this country, in the United States? Economy cars, compact cars, maybe some sports compacts. Fast forward, Toyota came out with full-size pickup trucks. If you had asked me, 30 years ago, did I think Toyota would have a meaningful market share of the pickup truck market in the United States? I would have laughed at you, right? I think a lot of folks would have laughed at you. And maybe some folks will never buy a Japanese, whether it's a Toyota or Nissan, a big truck, full-size truck from some other manufacturer. But they did it. And they took a significant piece of the action. I think the Ford F-150 is still one of, if not the most sold vehicle, most popular vehicle, new vehicle sold in the world or something like that, or in the United States. Again, I'm not about metrics and numbers on this podcast. How boring. But it's significant. And Toyota got their pound of flesh. Toyota did it. They got their piece of the action. Who would have thunk? And I think a lot of those trucks are made in the United States. Toyota has plants here in the U.S. Who would have thought that 40 years ago? Oh no, that's America's market. USA #1, baby. F-150, F-250, F-350, big rig Dodge, Cummins diesel, Chevy Silverado. Guess what? Disruption and innovation. Japanese manufacturers, other manufacturers got their piece of the action. They innovated, right? Tesla's doing the same. They've been doing the same. So Tesla Cybertruck, what do you think about it? Leave your comments and I'll respond to those that I can. Listen, I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Automotive Hot Seat Podcast. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.